let's talk about how AI, artificial intelligence, will replace bookkeepers. But stay tuned till the end because it's not the way you think. So, AI will replace bookkeepers, but AI is a good thing. It's a tool that we can leverage to save us time and improve our services and do more in less time. My name is Zach Pasquarello. I started my bookkeeping business 5 years ago, and now I make these videos because I love talking about my own bookkeeping business, sharing my lessons learned, sharing my experience so that you can learn from what I've done and fast track to success. If you like this video, I'm putting out new videos every single week. So subscribe to my channel and let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat, what are your questions about starting a bookkeeping business? I am making this video today, right now, because so many people ask me if starting a bookkeeping business is still a good idea because of artificial intelligence, because of AI. Is it still a good idea to start a bookkeeping business? How is AI going to replace bookkeepers in the future? So, like I said, AI is a good thing because it's going to enable, it's a tool to be used. It's just like computers, the internet. It's different, but it's similar in the idea that it's a tool that humans can use to do more in less time. As long as you know how to use AI, you can leverage it to your advantage. So, AI will not necessarily replace you as a bookkeeper, but instead, people who know how to use AI, artificial intelligence, they will replace you as a bookkeeper because AI is not going to replace good bookkeepers, accountants, tax accountants. It's not going to replace the good ones, but it will replace the bad ones. AI will replace bad bookkeepers. It's not going to replace us because there's still things like checks, wire transfers, ACH transfers, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal transactions, journal entries, sometimes missing bank information. We still need humans to do bookkeeping. We still need a human to check the work. So AI might be a tool that we can use, but it's not going to completely replace us. Even if we had a self-driving autonomous vehicle, we would still need an operator. Just look at drones. We still need a drone pilot. But now the function of a pilot has changed with drones. Same concept. We still need an operator for QuickBooks Online. We still need somebody to manage the AI tools. That's where you come in. You need to know how to use and leverage AI, just like you did in the early 2000s with the internet, just like you did in the 90s with computers. Now it's just something new. You need to learn how to use AI. Don't look at it necessarily as an option for you to lower your prices because it's always just going to be a race to the bottom. Instead, focus more on leveraging AI so that you can do more in less time, improve your services, offer more, go above and beyond, do more with less time. So you've heard the old saying, you can have good, fast, and cheap. You can only pick two. I've never been a big fan of trying to have cheap services. It's always just a race to the bottom. So instead, learn how you can leverage AI and improve your services, make them better, go above and beyond, make them faster. Don't offer cheaper services, but just do more, do it faster, do it better. Think about AI as a tool to be used. People say all the time, I don't want to start a bookkeeping business because AI is going to take over in 2 years. But I disagree with that. It's not going to happen tomorrow. Might not even happen next month. Probably not going to happen next year. But in the next 2 to 3 years, maybe. Here's the thing. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. It's impossible to predict the future. I'm not going to be so afraid of the future that it's going to stop me from doing something that I want to do right now. Start today. If you're brand new, start a bookkeeping business today. Learn the skills necessary to start a business. It's an amazing business. Look back through all my other videos. I talk about how amazing starting a bookkeeping business is. You don't need any supplies, inventory, employees, buildings, equipment, vehicles. You don't need any money to get started. All you need is a computer, and an internet connection, and an understanding of bookkeeping fundamentals, and a QuickBooks subscription, and you can start as a bookkeeper. So I would recommend start today. Learn the skills. Don't be afraid of what's going to happen in the future. You can only control you, yourself, and today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe this week. You can't control what's going to happen next year. Of course, you always want to be forward thinking and planning for the future, but don't be so afraid of AI taking over that it stops you from potentially starting a really good business. Even if you only run your bookkeeping business for 2 years, which I would say worst case scenario, bookkeepers become obsolete in 2 years. I doubt it's really going to happen that quickly, that soon. But worst case scenario, bookkeepers become totally obsolete in 2 years. The skills, lessons, money that you make and learn over these next 2 years would be so valuable. Don't miss out on that opportunity. I've got a course for sale in the description of this video. If you want to check it out, more than welcome to. It could help you start and grow your own bookkeeping business. I've got a ton of resources, a ton of free YouTube videos, just like this one, live weekly private group calls every Monday at 3 p.m., digital downloads on my store, a free public Facebook group. It's all linked in the description of this video. I'm making these videos to help you start and grow your own bookkeeping business because it changed my life. I've got 80 bookkeeping clients averaging $500 per month, and I'm making $40,000 of monthly recurring revenue just from my bookkeeping business. It took me 5 years to get here, but it changed my life. And so don't let the fear of artificial intelligence stop you from starting a bookkeeping business today. Worst case scenario, start today, do it for the next 2 years. Learn skills, learn how to be an entrepreneur, make some money. Worst case scenario, bookkeeping becomes obsolete in 2 years. Who knows? Maybe the skills that you've acquired will enable you to start something new or start something different. I went from bookkeeping, and then I started doing bookkeeping for real estate investors. And then I learned about private money lending. And I was able to save up a lot of cash because my bookkeeping business was successful. God blessed me with the ability to grow a successful bookkeeping business. And then I started an investment fund, Zip Capital, totally separate from my bookkeeping business. I've got Harrisburg Bookkeeping. I've got Zip Capital, two completely separate things. But I was able to learn about private money lending and investment funds through my experience as an entrepreneur. So the only reason I bring that up is because the same thing might happen to you. You might use your bookkeeping business as a transition period or a stepping stone to evolve to the next level. For me, that's Zip Capital. So now I'm still running my bookkeeping business, but I'm also managing a multi-million-dollar real estate debt investment fund. So I'm offering 8% up to 12% fixed returns to accredited investors. And the link to register on my website for Zip Capital, if you're interested, if you want to learn more, is in the description of this video. If you're a U.S. citizen and an accredited investor, you could earn potentially 8% up to 12% fixed returns. So check that out in the description of this video. I only bring it up just to show that I started bookkeeping 5 years ago, learned accounting, finance, business, learned real estate, started private money lending, and then eventually got to my investment fund, Zip Capital. But I never would have got to this point. I never would have been on YouTube. I never would have launched an investment fund. I never would have started private money lending, never would have learned about real estate if it wasn't for the bookkeeping business. So start today. Don't let the fear of what's going to happen tomorrow or next week stop you from starting today. So QuickBooks already has AI functions. Learn how to use them. I know QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online, big transition. People who were bookkeeping in the 90s and the early 2000s, you were probably just using QuickBooks Desktop. And I know it's been a big struggle for people who have been doing this for a long time to switch to QuickBooks Online. So if you've got a ton of experience, it's going to be hard for you to switch. I understand it can be challenging to learn new things, but you have a ton of experience. So you have the accounting and the bookkeeping knowledge. It's up to you. Do you want to retire in 3 to 5 years? Then maybe don't worry about it. But if you want to keep doing this for 10 to 15 years, you need to adapt and overcome. You need to learn QuickBooks Online, and then you need to take it a step further, not just learn QuickBooks Online, but also learn the AI automation features inside of QuickBooks. By learning these things, business owners are always going to need, at least for the foreseeable future, they are always going to need somebody to manage their QuickBooks. That's where we come in. Sure, we don't have a traditional pen and paper general ledger. We don't have T-charts anymore. We don't need to know as many debits. We still need to know debits and credits, but the majority of the transactions that we're recording are just coming in through the QuickBooks bank feed and then being recorded in QuickBooks Online. So we're just recording expenses, matching bank deposits to invoices and sales receipts. The majority of the bookkeeping that we do now is just simply managing QuickBooks Online. So if you are an experienced bookkeeper who's been doing this for a long time, if you want to stay relevant for the next 5, 10, 15 years, you need to learn QuickBooks Online, and then you need to take it a step further and learn how to use the AI automations inside of QuickBooks Online. I get it. It's hard. It's hard to learn something new, and QuickBooks Online just revamped their entire user experience. They just revamped everything. Everything looks different inside of QuickBooks Online. I've been doing this for 5 years. Every single year, QuickBooks raises their prices and they change their software. It's going to continue to happen. So we just need to learn to adapt and overcome. We need to learn how to leverage the software. So that's if you're a lot of experience, been doing it for a long time. If you don't have any experience, I have good news for you. So good and bad. Bad, you have no experience. Good, you don't know any better. You don't know any different. You don't even know QuickBooks Desktop. You don't know what QuickBooks used to look like. All you know now is the new QuickBooks Online with AI automation. So if you're brand new, it's going to be hard because you don't have any experience, but it's going to be good because you're brand new. You might be younger or you're just brand new, and so you have a clean slate, a fresh start. So you can, of course, learn the new QuickBooks Online software with the AI automations and the new user experience because it's all you've ever known. So leverage that. Use that to your advantage during your sales consultations. Hey, yeah, I just started my bookkeeping business in 2025, but I'm super tech savvy. I know how to use all the cloud software, computer, whatever. I know how to use all the technology. I'm really good with tech, email, Google Drive, Dropbox, QuickBooks Online, really good with tech. So whatever tech integrations you have in your company, I'm all for it. I know how to use it. Use that to your advantage as a new bookkeeper with no experience. Focus on the pros of being new and being able to leverage technology. So QuickBooks already has a lot of these AI functions. You just need to learn how to use them. Like I said, you're not going to be replaced by AI, but instead you're going to be replaced by people who know how to use AI. Now let's talk about some different ways that you can already use artificial intelligence, already use AI. I use it a lot, and not in the way you think, not just for bookkeeping, but I use it a lot managing my business. I use it to respond to emails. I don't necessarily have a AI chatbot or a third-party integration with my email, but instead I will just copy and paste emails that I get from people into ChatGPT, and I'll say, hey, can you write a short response to this email and see what it says? That way, you're not necessarily saving a whole lot of time. Sometimes you will. But instead, what I have found to be more beneficial is I'm saving my brain power because we only have so much brain juice throughout the day. And we're already overloaded, overstimulated with social media and the internet and our families and after school sports, involved in the community, everything else. There's already so much going on. So if I can save a little bit of brain juice by using ChatGPT to automatically come up with a response to an email, it's amazing. Especially when I get long emails. My immediate instinct is just to respond with no. Like that, I just want to say no. And so I'll go to ChatGPT, I'll copy and paste the long email that I got from somebody, and I'll say, tell them no. And then ChatGPT does its thing, and it gives this long 3 or 4 sentence, like, Thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. That was so kind of you. I really appreciate you bringing up this. Best of luck with this. I hope this goes well for you. Unfortunately, I'm not taking on any new blah, blah, blah right now. No, thank you. So ChatGPT just does all that for you. 3 to 4 sentences, professional, and it's just a really nice email response for a lot of the emails that I'm not interested in, don't really take a lot of brain power, but I'm just going to automate them with a standard ChatGPT response. But keep in mind, ChatGPT is not a 100% solution. So you still need to proofread things, add a human touch, take out the robot jargon, take out the unnecessary punctuation, make it sound like a human, because I don't want people to think that everything is just 100% AI generated. So I use AI as a starting point or a reference, but it's not a 100% solution. I'm never just copy and pasting straight from ChatGPT into social media or into emails. I'm always proofreading. I'm always editing, using my own style, using my own voice, language, punctuation. Make it your own. Be authentic, because people can tell when it's 100% straight from ChatGPT. So speaking of social media, I also use AI to create my marketing content, and not necessarily start to finish, but instead I use it to create my marketing content ideas. So I'll say, give me 5 new ideas for a YouTube video. Give me 10 new ideas for a short video to post on Instagram. Give me 5 new ideas to post on LinkedIn so that I can share my story and encourage more people to want to invest into Zip Capital. Look at these 3 posts. Here's what I'll say to ChatGPT. I will copy and paste Facebook posts, Instagram, LinkedIn posts, and I'll say, hey, these 3 posts did really well. So I'll look back past 14 days on social media, and I'll see what are my top 3 posts. And then I'll paste those into ChatGPT, and I'll say, hey, these 3 posts did really well. Give me 3 new ideas of something different, but using the same style as these 3 posts. So I'm constantly training my ChatGPT. My ChatGPT is very unique to me. I talk to it a lot. I give it a lot of good ideas. I give it a lot of feedback, and I tell it things like, this did really well. Don't talk about this. Let's focus on this. Here are my goals. And then ChatGPT kind of starts to learn your style, and then it can be really customizable. So I use it to give me marketing content ideas. Or I'll use it to refine or proofread or edit or polish emails or posts. Sometimes I'll just use voice to text, or sometimes I'll just have one big long run-on sentence. I'm just like, what do they call it? Word vomiting onto an email or a social media post. And I'll just get all my ideas out there. And then I'll say, polish this, refine this, edit this, turn this into an email that I can send to my clients. Turn this into a long LinkedIn post using my style. So I use AI to help me create marketing content. Like I said, not a 100% solution, but it's a reference point, it's a starting point. And then I also use it to answer complex tax and accounting questions. Like I said, caveat, not 100% solution, but starting point. So if a client asks me a complex tax question that I don't necessarily know, throw it into ChatGPT, see what it says. Once I get the answer from ChatGPT, I'll do some of my own research, make sure it's legit and it looks good. And then a lot of times ChatGPT will help me respond to clients when it comes to accounting and tax questions. Or if I have a bookkeeping question, maybe it's a journal entry that I'm not entirely sure how to do. ChatGPT, great starting point, great reference point. Financial services, all about relationships. AI, chatbot, even outsourced overseas bookkeepers who are just working behind the scenes. These are never going to replace financial services, bookkeeping, whatever, because it's all about relationships. People want to hire a person. Now, the tools that person uses, sure, you could use AI, but people, at least for the foreseeable future, next 2 to 3 years, people want to hire a person. And also a lot of times the software, CRM, AI, a lot of times these things sometimes tend to overcomplicate things. I'm a big fan. Just keep it simple. I use Excel spreadsheets to manage a lot of my bookkeeping workflows, a lot of my private money loans, a lot of my underwriting, a lot of my Zip Capital portfolio management. A lot of that's done with Excel spreadsheets and Google Sheets. I really try to keep things simple. And at the end of the day, all about relationships. So we're kind of looking at two separate things here. We're looking at delivering bookkeeping services, but also marketing and sales. Two very distinct types of services, two very distinct aspects of being an entrepreneur bookkeeper. So in order to actually get clients, you need to have a marketing and sales strategy. So the bookkeeping, QuickBooks Online, AI automations can definitely help with delivering the bookkeeping. But marketing and sales, I talked a little bit about how I use AI to create marketing content, but you're going to need some type of social media marketing strategy to get your name out there and to get clients. So I have a ton of videos talking more detail about my social media marketing strategy guide, but if you're new to this video, I'm just going to go over it real quick right here. And then if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer them in my next video. Oh, side note, by the way, every Friday, I'm doing something new. Every Friday, I'm going live, at least for as long as I can. And I'm just talking for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and it's a live chat. People can ask questions and I'll do my best to answer everybody's questions. So I usually post these videos early in the week and then I'm going to go live on Friday. So if you're watching this video before Friday, tune in. This Friday, I'm going to be going live on my YouTube channel at around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, my 4-step social media marketing strategy guide. So I do have a 30-day social media strategy guide for sale on my website. That way, it kind of helps you get kickstarted. It kind of helps you get some ideas, some momentum, and it tells you exactly what to post and when to post it. So it's included in my course. If you buy my course, it's included, but if you just want the social media strategy guide, it's for sale on my website. So real quick, my 4-step social media marketing strategy. First, you have to create content, and that's what the 30-day marketing strategy guide, that's what that helps you with. But you got to create content every single day, and it can be just words, it can be a picture, it can be a video, it can be a short video, it can be a long video, it can be an infographic, it can be a flyer, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the whole idea is that you establish yourself as a bookkeeping expert and you build trust with your audience. Like I said, financial services, all about trust. And right now, these people don't know who you are. So in order for them to learn who you are and know who you are, you have to show up consistently every day, talk about your bookkeeping business, talk about yourself, talk about your entrepreneur journey, and relate to these people. Get your name out there, establish yourself as a bookkeeper, build trust, build relationships with these people on social media. Number 2, you have to find prospective clients, because right now, all of your Facebook friends and LinkedIn connections are probably from family, college, your current job, a previous life. And so they're not necessarily prospective clients. So you need to find prospective clients. Facebook groups are great for finding clients. LinkedIn makes it super simple to search for people. I've recently been using LinkedIn Sales Navigator to grow my investment fund, Zip Capital, to find interested investors. LinkedIn Sales Navigator costs money, but it's a super powerful tool if you're leveraging LinkedIn to find prospects. Recommend check it out. Step number 3, connect with them. Pretty simple. Right now, I'm sending 25 connection requests to interested investors every day on LinkedIn. So if you want to do the same thing, Facebook, LinkedIn, send 25 friend requests on Facebook, 25 connection requests on LinkedIn every single day. And then step number 4, engage with your community. It's not enough to just create content, send friend requests, get new friends. You have to interact with these people because we're building relationships. We're establishing trust. That means comment on their posts, reply to their comments, be a normal human being, interact with people. And then bonus tip number 5, sales. You can send a DM to these people 30 days after they accept your friend request. That's exactly what I did 5 years ago to grow my bookkeeping business. That's the exact same strategy I'm using right now to grow my investment fund, Zip Capital. Side note, just want to mention it one more time. If you want to invest, I'm offering 8% up to 12% annual fixed returns in Zip Capital. Go ahead and register in the link in the description of this video. Register on my website. I'd love to chat with you about it. 3 more points. AI increases accuracy, but doesn't increase judgment. So there still needs to be a human touch. There still needs to be a person checking the work of AI. We've all used QuickBooks rules. Hello, have you ever used QuickBooks rules? You already know they can make mistakes. So we still need a person checking the AI automation. So it's accuracy, absolutely. The QuickBooks bank feed, pulling in bank details can definitely increase accuracy, but we still need judgment from a person. Third-party AI integrations. I would be cautious about using third-party AI integrations. I'm not a fan. I talk about it all the time. I'm not a fan integrating third-party apps with QuickBooks or my email, but if it works for you, maybe try it out. Me personally, not a fan. Finally, let's talk about advisory services. Is this the future of bookkeeping? Are we no longer going to be just recording transactions, but instead are bookkeepers going to evolve into more of an advisor? This is the $1 million question. I don't know the answer. So we have CFO services and we have bookkeeping. And it seems like with the increase of AI automation, it seems like bookkeepers might become less relevant, but CFOs might become more relevant. Now, the reporting, the recording, the categorizing, the reconciling, the creating of financial reports, that's all probably going to get automated. We're going to need a person to check those things, but we're still going to need a human to bridge the gap between bookkeeping and then what is the client actually going to do. And so that's where advisory services come into play. But if you have no experience, you can't just wake up tomorrow and decide to be a fractional CFO. You can't just decide to be a financial advisor to entrepreneurs. You need to get that experience. So here's my recommendation. Learn bookkeeping. Become a bookkeeper, get QuickBooks experience, and then if you want to graduate or move on to becoming a fractional CFO, then you will have perfect experience. So take this next year to learn QuickBooks and learn bookkeeping and get bookkeeping clients and get experience. And then if you want to keep up with the times and avoid getting replaced by artificial intelligence, then you can move on to more of a fractional CFO advisory option. That's never been my take before because I've always been a fan of just keeping it simple and just doing bookkeeping. But I recognize that bookkeepers might get replaced by other bookkeepers who know how to use AI. So in order to go above and beyond and to deliver more high quality services faster and better, you might need to look at offering additional services. You might need to start offering fractional CFO services in the next 2 to 3 years if you want to stay relevant. Right now, for me, I'm just doing bookkeeping. I'm still just offering bookkeeping services and it's working for now. So if you just want to start bookkeeping, I think there's no problem with that. You can make a ton of money. Like I said, $500 per month, 80 bookkeeping clients, $40,000 per month. I work a lot, but I make a lot and it's working for me right now. But in the future, as AI does become more relevant and more powerful and more useful, possibly keep it in mind. Consider maybe moving on to more advisory services. At the very least, you're going to act as the financial liaison between QuickBooks and the client. That's it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions, let me know. Check out all the links in the description of this video. I really appreciate you watching. I make these videos because I love teaching you what I know and what I've learned about being a bookkeeping entrepreneur. Thanks so much. Subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more videos coming soon.